As this investigation continues to unfold and the focus shifts to those recovered black boxes, there are still so many questions surrounding what those pilots experienced before the moment of impact. Ryan Tseko joins us live this morning. He's a former airline pilot and currently serves as the lead captain of a private jet. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
Can you talk a little bit about the flight path and the altitude the Black Hawk helicopter would have been required to fly versus the American Airlines plane during this incident?
Yeah, Laura, and thanks for having me. I've flown that aircraft, the exact aircraft, for about 7,000 hours. I flew for United Express. Now I'm over on the corporate side, but that's the big question here. The Black Hawk helicopter, according to the FAA, should have been flying at an altitude of 200 feet, which keeps them a safe distance from the incoming aircraft into DCA, which, if anybody's been to DCA, you know the number of aircraft that come in and out of there. I mean, this is probably one of the most highly congested airspaces in the U.S. So from my standpoint, when I go back and review the flight recordings and all of the tracks, the aircraft was on an approach. Yeah, he was sidestepped to runway 33 from runway 1, but that's a normal operation. It's a circle approach. So the flight crew is focused on landing. They have gear coming down, they have flaps coming in. Not to mention it is a shorter runway at DCA, just a little over 5,000 feet. So I think the big question here is, why was that helicopter? Was it wind? It doesn't appear that there was weather in that area. They were flying under visual flight rules. The aircraft was flying under IFR. And so it really comes down to, why was the helicopter flying at above 200 feet? And why did the ATC controller managing both aircraft and helicopter not give the Black Hawk direct communication to say turn, not just giving him the visual separation? So there's a lot of questions that are going to unfold over the next couple of days.
Right. So we know that there was contact with that air traffic controller making communications, but like you said, it was just, do you see it? How often and how quickly can that communication happen? I mean, as you mentioned, that plane was coming in for a landing.
Well, Laura, you don't have a lot of time as a pilot, and that's what they train you to be. They train you to be very proficient on reaction time. The FAA has done thorough training on avoiding and correcting from incidents like this. So you have seconds. I mean, you don't have minutes. Right. And also, you have great technology in these aircraft. Again, I've flown that airplane for 7,000 hours. It is equipped with some of the most advanced technology. Now, also the FAA is coming out with new technology to possibly avoid these, but you don't have a lot of time.
Do you even think the pilot knew what was coming? And also, talking about technology, we're seeing more and more reports of near misses these days as well. Some experts feel it's because we can capture so much more of what is going on. But also, do we just have more planes up in the sky, people going places?
Well, we are seeing more air travel. We are seeing more aircraft. To your question, though, I don't think the CRJ flight crew saw the Black Hawk. I mean, look, you're talking about civilian commercial aircraft. You can see the helicopter right there in view. It's black. I don't know what the light situation was, but I mean, those are low flying helicopters. The aircraft was on a very, very, very short final. And you got to keep in mind too, so the aircraft has capabilities, but as it gets to lower altitude, it will not get the commands to avoid the helicopter, because you don't want that at that low of altitude, because you do have the ground so close, being 300 feet. So I think there was a lot of things here that went wrong, unfortunately. And unfortunately, 64 plus 3 people lost their lives because, apparently, and it looks like the Black Hawk helicopter was supposed to, again, see and avoid. It was under visual flight rules. There's reports coming out that they could have been under a night vision goggle, which could distort some of their vision. Right. And maybe they had the wrong aircraft they were identifying, but it looks like it was on a direct crash course between the airplane and the helicopter, which is very, very sad.
It's tragic. It really is. Well, Ryan Tseko, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your expertise.
Yeah, thanks for having me.